Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away. Were all these things the Iblis stone? Long hidden in a buried temple? Another ancient item that was only resurfacing now? Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals? What was he doing here? The last time, the stone had fought him for possession of his own soul. Oh, hey, there's a couple of red spots on your feathers. Oh, wait, not yet. To bury him in a bucket. Actually, several buckets.
that.
I think this is yours, said Renato, but he couldn't hear his enemy dancing. The ravens were already here, cawing in frustration. They were still searching for a way in. Good. And he hadn't come too late.
Strength or speed?
Cool. Wish I could do that.
I need to kill that wizard. That's what keep giving me my head.
The goat.
God, how?
Take the goat across first, Renato thought.
How?
But it was too late.
How did I die? I'm trying to watch one stream of my friend and perform. Yeah, I need my health. I don't know why I keep dying. That's crazy. Alright, let's play smart.
ravens didn't smell any better dead than I'd have thought.
That's what made me hell. I need health. Do I got a sword for this door?
That is a very cool sword, thought Leonardo.
I guess I do.
No, seriously. He couldn't feel his paw anymore.
This game is, I don't know, sometimes it's hard. But I try. I don't know, it's different. It kind of reminds me like of old games with like new graphics. And then plus like with this guy you could play like different roles. Like I played I played bad, I played good. I even killed my friend. Well, actually, there's like a chick in here that he likes and he kills her when he was playing bad. She was a rebel. I'm not talking though because my girl's sleeping. Yeah, I said I'm gonna stay up to like 3, maybe 3 something. Not that late. And then my girl kill me. You know how that goes. Sometimes you
Get
gotta
around the Raven room, talking to her son. Don't write. Don't call. Get it? Call. I just made that up.
Oh, get up out of there. See, these guys that they help you out actually, because if you hit them once, and you move out, like I kept messing up. But if you hit them and then you move out the way, they explode and they kill like the rest of the ravens. See? When the exclamation mark pops up on the top of their head, if you turn and hit them, you'll counter their attack, and then yeah, it works. But right now my health is like stupid low, so if I don't get like those little vases with health in them, I'm probably gonna die again and be sent back to the checkpoint. Oh, that sucks. Hopefully I got some. Nope, no health in
You
there.
sensed the jewel's power. He had a feeling they were going to be great friends.
Oh, I got another one. Attack speed. Increase resist to physical damage by 20%. Critical hit chance. It's crazy how you build these characters too. It's almost like
There had to be some way to use the Iblis stone. It was old, wasn't it? People are so much cleverer now. And Renato was pretty sure he was cleverer than most people. Renato hoped his mother wasn't watching.
Dude, where is this health? I can't get no health. I don't know, every time I gotta build like on my skill tree, I like don't really damn, I still haven't built that sword. And no health. Wow. That's not cool. I'm like literally like 2 hits and I'm dead. Dude, I was streaming all today. But if I don't stream, you know what, in truth, it's like I wasn't tired right now, so, but I figured this is a lot of guys I know,
he thought,
on European time, you pretty much can catch them around this time. I'm watching 33 stream at the same time I'm streaming. He's streaming Battlefield. You know, Code Empire. Oh, I didn't know I could kick him off the... Hey.
I'm sorry. Was that your shield?
Yeah, he's been streaming Battlefield. Wow. Really? Wow, he's really trying to kill me. Go. I'm like a 50 sucking ass right now.
The Ravens at least could not get past this point. Obviously, the temple builders knew how to deal with tomb raiders.
Oh yeah, there's still abilities I don't know about. Do I got any skill tree? Nope. Well, good thing I can't fall off the edge. Every time I complete like a story, it opens up another part of the story. Like it's like completing like a piece of it. I don't know why I wasn't using my dash on that part. It's like, how else are you gonna move that fast? Oh, it's probably gonna be another fight.
It was a stone of the purest blackness. It reflected no light, like a void made solid. Nervous, he picked it up. Who said that? It was the stone. Eager, thirsty. That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch. But they had been close once, and he had a sneaking suspicion the gem would try to control him. Why not capture the core of Sky Ripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. Look at the core, said the stone anxiously. But even though Renato knew how evil the gem was, he had a clever plan for dealing with it. The gem could give great power, but it was evil. But Reynardo had a plan. He would divide the stone into the power half and the evil half. He sought out the sage Calaveras.
Oh, you need a mirror of splitting,
Croaked Calaveras.
I can make one.
Calaveras set up various shiny things. And soon Reynardo was setting the stone down in the middle of Calaveras' lab. There was a flash, and now Reynardo was looking at himself. Except with a mustache, and a goatee, and darker hair. There were two Iblis stones. One light, and one dark. Reynardo took the light one. He felt a rush of great power. Now I can defeat the Emperor. Wait a minute. Unfortunately, he couldn't think of any way to use it without hurting someone. That wouldn't be nice. Give me that, said his evil-looking twin. And he drew his sword. He only got it halfway out of the scabbard when he fainted from the effort. Obviously, neither weak, evil Reynardo nor powerful ice Reynardo was any threat to the Empire. After the Emperor's victory, they were exhibited in a museum until time ended, which was soon after. He had tried something bold and paid the price for it.
What the hell? All these alternate stories.
Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away. Were all these things the Iblis stone? Long hidden in a buried temple, another ancient item that was only resurfacing now, drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals? Yes, please. What was he doing here? Last time, the stone had fought him for possession of his own soul.
I'm just trying to teach you how to fly.
We'll always have Paris, he thought. When he died.
Right. I can't let it go that easy.
Yeah.
ravens were already here. Cawing in frustration. They were still searching for a way in. Good. And he hadn't come too late. Well, they really needed to redecorate anyway. Ready to blossom within him, or something. Hey, I'm a firefox, thought Renato. Maybe I should follow my nose, thought Renato. What was really fun was hooking yourself onto a moving ship. There had to be some way to use the Iblis stone. It was old, wasn't it? People are so much cleverer now. And Renato was pretty sure he was cleverer than most people. He was more and more extraordinary.
Kill the fox!
Caught the ravens. Nobody said they were original. The ravens at least could not get past this point. Obviously the temple builders knew how to deal with tomb raiders. Renato had always wanted a flying carpet. This was more like a flying tabletop, but it would do. My castle, thought Renato. All my gates are going to open with buttons, and all the levers will drop rocks at your head. It was a stone of the purest blackness. It reflected no light, like a void made solid. Nervous, he picked it up. Who said that? It was the stone. Eager, thirsty. That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch. But they had been close once, and he had a sneaking suspicion the gem would try to control him. Why not capture the core of Sky Ripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. "It's the core," said the stone anxiously.
But even though Renato knew how evil the gem was, he had a clever plan for dealing with it.
The stone bothered him. He hated being told what to do. Wasn't that why he joined the rebellion? Wasn't that why he'd refused to be a soldier? He'd agreed to come on board only if he could freelance.
The stone felt a bit clingy, and he had a feeling it did not have his best interests at heart. The sage Calaveras had told him where to find the Sky Ripper, a weapon capable of challenging the gods. Even without its armature, the core would still possess great power.
He would go there. The moment he landed the Farfarer, Renato had a rare feeling of regret. It's not too late, he thought. He could turn around and sail for Zenobia's island. He frowned. Wait a minute. He didn't want to kill Zenobia, did he? Sure, technically she was the enemy, but they'd been at Sword Food School together. They'd never been lovers, but somehow they'd been closer. She'd told him every secret about herself. Except the biggest one. That she was the Emperor's daughter. No. Kill Zenobia, whispered the stone. Before it's too late. there was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
Why would anyone put his slinky collection in a strongbox, thought Renato. Were they magic slinkies? Oh, there was something else.
Where did that go to? The stone hadn't lied about what it could do for him. With each raven he cut down, he felt a jolt of power flowing into his arm. "You're weak," whispered the stone. "The core will kill you." "Are you afraid of it?" "No, don't be ridiculous," it chuckled. But it's unstable. It will poison you if so much as carry it, and if you try to use it, it will explode catastrophically. Renato did not trust rocks that talked in his head. He went onwards. As he approached the core, the stone became hysterical. "No, it's too much power. We will rip a hole in space and time." He had a sudden vision of plunging his gauntlet into the core and dying in anguish. That wasn't his vision, was it? The stone had sent him its darkest fears, hadn't it? He had a sudden impulse to do exactly that. He raised his right fist and plunged it into the core. There was a rush of light. He thought he could hear the stone screaming. And then he passed out. When Renato came to, the core was gone. But the Iblis stone was no longer black, but glowing with a blue light. And it was silent. "I can't hear you," he sang out. And, "You?" It didn't answer. "Ha!" he said. He had defeated the demonic gem with the power of his mind. He felt invincible. It was time to attack the Imperial outpost on the Nexus. Take the battle to the enemy. But among the huge crystals, there was also an observatory. A wise man would probably ask the scientists exactly what he had first. How wise was he? As the Farfarer made its way toward the Nexus, Renato could see tiny sparks in the blackness that was the Iblis stone, as if somewhere within it, the core was still spitting out energy, which the Iblis stone sucked in hungrily. You'd think the stone would want this kind of power, wouldn't it? Thought Renato. Well, the scientists would explain it all. See? He'd trusted his gut, and it had worked out. That's what it meant to be a hero. To ignore the naysayers and the odd-makers, and do what you knew was right, and have it turn out to be the right thing. No, he wasn't worried. Once he got to the observatory, the scientist toads could explain it. Then he could carry the war into the enemy's camp and destroy them all. Oh dear, he was getting a little bloodthirsty, wasn't he?
Think of all the artisans he was creating employment for. Truly, he was a job creator.
Bernardo had never felt better in his life. Normally, a battle would wear him down and he would need a night's sleep. Now he felt like he could go all night and all day. He felt like people were cheering him on, and he could practically hear their applause as he slew one raven after another. Once you try it, you're hooked.
That's my order, thought Renato. He was such a wit.
The Imperial fleet was closing in on the rebels, forcing them to come out and fight. Bernardo was itching to bring the fight to the enemy. He had to remind himself not to be too reckless. No skateboarding, the sign said. well. In fact, he felt dead. Renato wondered if he could learn to cook this way. Probably not. The toads at the observatory measured the stone with their occult devices. I fed it the core of Sky River, explained Renato. No more feed balance souls.
But the core is not an unlimited energy source,
said one toad. Another said,
there's a feedback loop, you see, which could overload the stone. The stone doesn't actually feed on souls,
claimed the third.
but on pain of killing another sentient being. If you can truly be at peace with yourself, it would not overload.
This was all very confusing. At peace? Yes, the mountains were peaceful and quiet, but he now had the power to turn the tides. He should report to the Rebellion Council and prepare for the decisive battle.
Renato couldn't make sense of anything the toads said, and listening to them argue made him restless. The Iblis Stone had made him a power in his own right. The core had kicked the Iblis Stone out of his head by filling it with more power than it could eat. It was time to meet the leadership of the rebellion. It was time to go to the ruins where they had hidden their secret base.
He was ready for anything the ravens could throw at him. His sword felt ready too. It seemed to know what he wanted most. Once, he'd found a Superman issue #1 in mint condition in a jar he'd broken. He planned to keep breaking things until he had the whole series. could be useful.
Zenobia, Hypatia, the kid's mother. Renato had never thought he'd date a librarian. He'd always figured himself for the barmaid type. But then, he'd never figured the library of Ubar would have comic books, or that Hypatia would know anything about them. He missed her.
Mother, never let him wave his sword around at home.
The Iblistone wasn't pestering him anymore.
Good. He didn't want to chit-chat, not with anybody. He didn't want to think about Zenobia or Lapino. He just wanted to fight. Sometimes, at home, he'd wave his sword around for hours. Renato at hot potatoes. That was always a rush. This chest contained a Vorpal sword. I'm just kidding. Vorpal swords don't exist. It would be fun to try out that one. And here was a handy workbench.
ought to put a railing on this thing, he thought. There was a pleasant breeze coming through that door. Had it been closed before? This was almost fun. Pain of killing another sentient being? What was that toad talking about anyway? He felt no pain, only pleasure as each filthy raven fell by his sword and the stone glowed brighter and brighter. And all the while, those voices were cheering him on like he was in the arena, winning bout after bout. Truth was, Bernardo really liked the sound his sword made in the air. practically sure he'd find something useful in one of these things. These things could really use a hand. As for the gate, well, he could take her or leave her. Sorry, it's the best I could do. For some reason, Ronaldo remembered a fairy tale his mother had told him about a land where only the apes talked and animals went around without clothes. I guess now I find out what's next, he thought.
wonder what happens if I go that way. He slew and slew across the ruins and into the labyrinth that hid the secret rebel base. He was surprised not to see any defenders or even any of the council toads. When he reached the council chambers, there were still no toads, only filthy ravens. "Stop him! He's gone mad!" one raven shouted until he had hacked them all down. There was not a single toad anywhere. No doubt they'd all been taken prisoner. So it was up to him to take revenge upon the Imperial fleet.
But where had they taken the council? It couldn't be good that the Empire had not only found the secret rebel base, but killed or captured everyone there. No matter. He was on a roll. He headed full speed towards the Imperial fleet. He would be the fox who took down 100 warships. He charged. The Imperial fleet was huge and deadly, but he was deadlier.
The crowd was cheering him on. He could practically hear it. Renardo, the hero of the rebellion. The mysterious sword from the east made you so fast you could catch a fly with your chopsticks. If that's what you really wanted. Renardo had once invested in a jewel store. But it lost money because someone kept robbing it. Twist, it was him. As he slew his way across the fleet, Renardo thought he could hear a small voice whispering in his ear. "Look at your gauntlet, you idiot," it said. "Oh, for heaven's sake," he thought. "Can't I be alone in my own head? Look at the stone." "I'm busy," he told the voice. "Talk later." "Then it will be too late," cried the voice. "Don't be so bloody thick." "Piss off," he told the voice and kept up his slaying. He'd once met a pirate captain who used hooks to get around his ship. What was his name again?
Building these platforms was so expensive, they'd run out of budget for guardrails.